Another Sunday night with Love Notes. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Ron. Welcome, Valerie. How are you both doing?
Oh, I'm
Good.
great.
I'm glad I'm
Ah,
sitting down. Finally.
Yes. This,
Mm,
this has been a really hard week for a lot of people, I'm sure. It's
mm,
the energy's changing so quickly and so
mhm.
dramatically, too. You're doing good, though, Ron?
yeah,
Welcome.
well, I had some really good stuff happen last week. There, I had to buy a new screen because my screen went kaput. It was
Your monitor,
yeah,
your
yeah,
computer
the screen
monitor?
that you see me on right now. I had
Yes.
to replace that,
Oh,
and I had
wow.
to get my car all four brakes.
Yep.
So
Wow.
all that cost me about $1,000.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh my God.
All
Oh,
hundred.
my gosh.
So
And an
anyway,
expensive.
but it happened. But you know, besides that, we had tornadoes and floods.
Oh, my
Mm,
gosh.
Yes, we had more tornado floods and uh, floods and everything. Where I am, it's about 14 miles from here. They shut down the shopping center because the water too much water. Like it rained
mm,
like 100 millimeters of water in about 2 hours,
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine.
mm.
and
Oh my
it
gosh.
was rushing. I went to pick up some food because sometimes I eat chicken, so I go to this chicken place, and I said we're closed. So I went the next day, and the next day I talked to them. I said you were closed. I said yeah, we had to shut down. We opened later on that night because the water was rushing from underneath, rushing into the restaurant. I
Mhm.
mean, oh my god, and the stink and everything. Oh my god, they had to clean all that up.
Oh my
So
gosh.
can you imagine?
Wow,
Well,
no. That
Yeah.
yes.
sounds
Okay.
horrific.
It was the last week of cancer season, and cancer is a water sign. And
Mhm.
yes, we have a lot. And so floods, but the emotional floods.
Yeah.
I'm just going to bring up Jenny. Today is her 40th anniversary with her husband who's passed.
Oh
And
my.
she's having a
Okay.
music party. And
Yay.
that's
That sounds
beautiful too.
wonderful.
And,
Yes.
and but you see,
And
these deep seated emotions are coming out during cancer season, right? And yesterday we were 29 degrees Cancer. Today we're at 0 Leo. So it goes from the emotions into your heart, So
mhm.
this is a perfect day to do love notes because it's 0 degree Leo and it's all about the heart.
There's another thing I talked about on my channel last night. Yeah, it was last night, and before that also. When things go like tornadoes warning and everything, the weather's going crazy, the winds and everything. I always ask for protection. I
Yeah.
don't have to say it loud. I think about it, and I ask for protection from Archangel Metatron and Archangel Michael.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So far, they have never let me down. And
No.
I
No.
tell people that, and they say, "How?" You just simply ask. That's all you have to do.
But
That's right.
There's no secret formula. You just ask. But you have to also have faith, trust.
oh, there-
Absolutely.
there's
You
that
know,
word.
There's that
some
word again. Oh my
trust that.
gosh.
But you see all black clouds. You see the trees going crazy. And you're there. Oh, geez, I asked for protection, and every time
Yep.
they show me signs of protection. They show me, and I
Hmm.
realize I'm aware of it. So,
You know, that awareness of even understanding that they're available to us,
yes,
understanding that they exist, understanding that they're available to us, and that is their job. They want to be able to be of assistance to us, and how
yeah,
shy we are sometimes of saying, this is uncomfortable. Can I have a little help here? Can I have a
Hmm.
little insight or understanding? And know that that answer can come in
yeah,
quickly. But that trust element, that belief element,
Whew.
are all fundamental as far as being able to understand this spiritual journey that we're all walking around in, these funny bodies.
Yeah.
But it's all that I think that those two key points that you just made, Ron, about trust and belief are the foundation of understanding it all, of having insight to it all.
I had a comment last night on my channel. Somebody said, "Geez, they found me skinny." But I thought about it. I didn't say it, but I said, these I've been trying to be a fairy all my life, and I'm trying to be very small, but I'm too very big to be a fairy.
You want to be a fairy?
Why not? Yeah, why not? I think we all have all of it in us. Fairies, dragons. Oh, so we're a little bit everywhere.
Yes,
But I'm doing very, very good so far.
you are doing very good.
I was going to say this, before I got all this lifetime of experience, right? Younger me would feel like I, not that I wasn't good enough to ask for help, but that I would be interrupting. Like they were too busy to work for me because they're so busy.
Hmm.
Who did I think I was that would
Hmm.
they would stop what they're doing for me? But then you realize these beings, spirit, angels, I mean, all of it. There is a unlimited.
Hmm.
They can be anywhere. Unlimited amount of spiritual help. Whatever, whoever you calling in, they can be like how many people will call in Archangel Michael, for instance, or Metatron. And I would think, oh my God, I'd be on that list. I'll be 100 years old, thinking there's this list, thinking in human terms, right? And it's so crazy. So
It
crazy
is. It
how
is.
we aren't taught that we come in with a team of guys.
Hmm. And that most of what we do think about has limits. And I
Hmm.
think that that's a human perception. It has to be because we have to be able to function within our own reality in the physical form that we're in, as far as our bodies being, a specific frame, a specific environment, enclosed in, and yet spirit is free to go wherever it wants to go. Spirit is boundless and effortless and unlimited, and that is the case with love as well. That
Yes.
there are no limits to it, and that there is no way to squish it or push it away or keep it from you, because at our core, that's what we are. So in talking about doing love notes, we talked about how to build on the concepts that we're working with. So we started out with telling your mind, reminding your mind, saying the affirmations, telling yourself that you're worthy of it. Last week we talked about, what did we talk about last week? It's only been a week. I'm like, okay. So last week we talked about actually experiencing and accepting that has been given to us, the love that has been given to us. So today we're going to look at how we look at loving, or how we love ourselves, the self-love piece.
Yeah.
Okay. And how to get that into a daily practice.
Yeah.
And I know that there are people who have said, well, I just, I don't see things the way that you do. I haven't had that experience. Can you guys please explain it so that it can be something that we can all understand and participate with? And I know that Ron, you had, let me just send it over to you, Ron. Tell us about what happened what happened for you to experience this unconditional self-love.
Well, first of all, I had a near-death experience when I was a child, so that put me in contact with pure unconditional love because I saw the other side. That's exactly what's like on the other side. There's no words to it. There's a there's a communication, telepathic, and I saw the whole thing. It came back with memories and everything. That's my first contact that I know of in this life. I'm talking about now in my body, with my body. I remember all that stuff. Okay, it's not talking about a past life. It's talking about this one I had.
Yes.
Okay, and that memory of that kept popping up in when I was growing up, adult. I had to clear all the friggin' programs that I received on all sponge thing. And I didn't understand all the time why I was here and geez, when I was on the other side, I saw all these light beings I think there were people that I knew, ancestors and guys, and name it. And they all had red hearts. So I thought, oh, geez, I'm here on mission to help everybody. I'm here to save everybody.
Mm.
Was I ever wrong about that?
Right.
Yes. Because I thought, oh, I saw all red hearts, oh, it means love, and I gotta practice this, and I gotta save everybody because people need to be saved.
Mhm.
That's a bunch of BS, by the way. Sorry to
Yes.
say that because I learned it. I learned the hard way. Okay,
Mhm.
so it doesn't mean that you go out there and start trashing people. You use unconditional love, like you can love people without like to be their savior. You don't need that. I found out one time that it became aware that I said I was trying so hard to save everybody. Now suddenly I realized, geez, because of meditation, because of this, I became aware that I needed to save me. That
Mm.
was the
Wow.
first thing I need to save was me. And how do I do it? Because nobody taught me about self-love. I was taught to love everybody else. Religion teaches
Mhm.
that, everything. And I was in like everybody else, thrown in that down the rabbit hole and
Right.
stuck to it.
Right.
And I had to clean all that garbage out. How do you clean the garbage out? One step at a time. I mean, it's not overnight stuff. It took a lot of time. I did meditation. What I did in meditation, I became aware of those little programs that were stuck up here,
Yeah,
and
the
I
crazy
got pissed
talk.
on myself. I said, "What the hell?" I mean, I really worked on myself. Really, I didn't work on anybody else
Mhm.
but myself. That's where
Mhm.
the change came. Um, and then I realized, that little boy inside of you, he needs you to love him. That I realized that. Why
Right.
did he need love? Because he was abused, because he wasn't honored, because he wasn't accepted, because he had no. He was taught he had no value. He was taught that he was an idiot, didn't have any brain, nothing, no value. I
Right.
had to undo all those things
Yeah.
Yes.
because somebody put them there.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay. But I carried this in my heart all my life and grew as an adult. And I wondered, what the hell's wrong with me? Why do I always get in all these situations? you know, I even tried to save couples who
Mm.
were, and then they bring me into it. And I said, oh shit, I got to get out of this stuff. I can't do this stuff. I can't because my heart is bigger than. My heart is my energy space because
Mhm.
of that near death, because that's the way I am. I was born like that.
Mhm.
You can't make this stuff. It's not something that I practice. It's something that I already had in me, and it just opened up. But I had to adjust it. I had to create boundaries. I had to study my energy from my soul and everything, and I had to learn about self love. And I said, "Geez, nobody taught me that. How do I do that?" There's one thing I started doing. So I done that on my channel, and I talked about this. Here's a picture of me when I was 9 years old.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
9-year-old boy.
beautiful. Look at that. Look at those twinkling eyes.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my gosh.
yeah.
Yes.
So so I took this picture. I said, "This is an old picture," but I took this picture and I started doing this, kissing the little boy inside,
Oh.
releasing all the abuse, the tension, the lack of love, the whole friggin' thing. When I started doing that, and it started working, and I started feeling better. I started uh, to build up my confidence because my confidence was down the drain. My trust issues with people because I've been betrayed so many times that it's incredible. And when it happens, every time it happens, I just go, geez, I got into it again. I got betrayed again. What the hell? Why did this stuff happen to me? Well, I had to learn all that. And I learned about free will. I learned about self care. Then I got on this. there was one time that I did it so many times through meditation and self love. I got on this high. You know what a high is? It's like, oh my God, I never felt so good in my body. Like I never had it. Like, being me was so amazing. Being
Yeah.
myself, being who I am.
Mhm.
And that's one thing about unconditional love, to accept who you are with your body, no matter, you know, I'm skinny. Oh, I should be bigger. No, the hell with it. You know, I mean, I accept the way I am,
Yes.
with body and all. Okay.
Yep.
When you do that, there's something awesome that happens.
Yeah.
Is that you start breathing in your true self.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if we were to break it down, you would the experience of the near death experience was dramatic and life changing, of course.
Yeah.
Understanding that you had experienced heaven, that you had experienced this place that was unconditional love, that
Yeah.
you knew what that feeling felt like, that you knew that you could suddenly feel the entire essence of being completely loved, fully loved, wholly loved, however you want to say that, sacredly loved and treasured, that you were made to feel important by this overpowering love that you were experiencing in the NDE, and then coming back and understanding that your brain was sending out those messages that were needing to be, delete, 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 right, where you needed to have them reversed. And by repeating the messages of looking at the little boy, kissing the little boy in the photo, re-established what really was true for you.
Yeah.
The old was no longer true. What was new was true. That was your new truth. And in honoring your new truth, you found more confidence in it, and that you can give that love to others as well. It is difficult as far as putting up those boundaries and understanding how to maneuver with the gift, with understanding that this is something that you can put out into the world. You can give this stuff out into the world. But it can be difficult when people are struggling. You can take advantage of you. They can try and twist it. They can try and make it less than what it really is. And all of that is that walking with it on a daily basis, right? And always being true to it, always
But I
understanding.
can tell you something about the other side, the unconditional love. That's where everybody transits to. Okay. And on the other side is there's something that happens there that I haven't seen here. Okay. Is uniquely, you are honored for who you are uniquely, each and every one of us. And it doesn't matter what race you are because it doesn't exist. Race doesn't exist on the other side.
Exactly.
Only light beings exist. Okay.
Right.
And that's what we were before we come here. We still are light beings, but you just maybe not you don't think about it, or you're not,
We're not taught. We're not taught that. We're not taught. We're taught we're
No.
not worth it. We're taught to care for others, like you said.
Yeah.
Put all your time and attention outside of yourself. If you even think about yourself, most people are called selfish.
Mm-hmm.
And that, this is programming that we're undoing, right? And I yes, we are in free will, Renee Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
That is why God, it's not that God doesn't protect us, it's we have to believe, have trust, have faith. Once you do, you are it. Nothing can throw you off your center. Yes, things happen but when you come to the place where in your heart and soul that you love and accept yourself, you are, oh my God, what is a good word for this, Kate? You're impenetrable.
I love that.
You really are. You can't get thrown off easily at that point.
Right. It is a different perspective in understanding that there are other reasons for why a circumstance is happening.
Yeah.
So in having self-love and being confident that you are connected to source, that you are on the path that you are meant to be walking on, there is a sense of being the observer
Yes.
rather than being the participant.
Mhm.
Okay. And in that is a kind of freedom
Yeah.
that takes judgment out.
Yeah.
Okay. So if in a perfect world, we would all be loving and happy and joking and, just, wouldn't say things that, caused pain to someone else, or wouldn't do something that would later be seen as, terrible thing to do, because those parts of us wouldn't have that filter. That part of being human would have been transformed in having. I'm having a hard time talking tonight. In having self-love for yourself, it transforms all of those funny little messages that you got growing up.
Yeah.
It transforms all the judgments and the should be's and the could be's and the would be's. Okay. It eliminates them. It
So-
brings you to a place of present time, present moment.
Mhm.
And in that present moment, there is a peace within and a joy within that you want everyone else to have in their lives, because it's such a beautiful experience.
And that's the truth. That's really how you give people, how you help people.
Yeah.
We all start out trying to be the savior, right? And a lot of us are the savior in our families, right? So that's our expected role. But then once you realize and you come to that place that you just described, that is, you are like the neutral observer. You can just see it. And God, it is one of the hardest things to explain is
It is.
how
It's
how to love yourself and accept yourself.
Can you imagine, like I talked on the inside, how you're honored uniquely and everything, honored in pure unconditional love? Just try to feel that. Just try to imagine that you are standing here and there's a bunch of unique guides, the spirit, the whole world is looking at you and honoring you uniquely and loving you unconditionally. What it'd be like. I know what it, I mean. I just talk about it and I can feel it.
It's transformational, right?
Yeah.
It was a gift that I had. It's a gift to have a near-death experience. It also did something else. It took away. I was sick. I had epilepsy. That's why. And there's a miracle that happened. That miracle is I never had another attack in my whole life after that near-death experience. But my body remembers the feeling, what was going on. I think about it and I can feel it. The tingling, sort of like your body shutting down slowly, one after another. You're trying to swallow your friggin' tongue, and your eyes go. Whoa, you're trying to talk and you can't. Things like that. I remember all those things. My body does.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm talking about unconditional love. And when I started my channel, what am I going to call my channel? It took me about 10 seconds to find out. It came to me just like that.
Right.
Unconditional love, Tarun. That was it.
That's perfect.
That's
perfect.
Just like that.
And Ron, you had a near-death experience, and I had a near-death experience, and that, I tell you, that's where I knew that there was so much more to what's going on here. That there was a God, creator, but that unconditional love feeling, you can't. It is so hard to explain it, and I want to say I wish everybody could feel that, but there's consequences to coming that close to death. Sometimes you don't make it, but
because unconditional love, yes, it goes through me. I think people could feel it in their souls when I talk or something. I don't need to know how it works. I know it's there. I can feel it, and everybody else can feel it also. But I can tell you one thing: if you try to get 100% of unconditional love pure, you will melt. You wouldn't exist anymore. Your body just because your body is not made to receive that. It's like high voltage. It's like putting 220 through your body, and you can't take it. Your body can't take it. So you can take it at small levels, and people have to adjust to that. We're going towards that. Well, we have to adjust it. You have to start eating it,
Yes.
like changing it. It's like a diet. You start
That's
eating
right.
it, practicing little things at a time, because you can't not. Uh, Sometimes you meet people in relationships and they go wacky, and I'm going to be unconditional love. You just try to practice unconditional love when somebody pisses you off. You see what I mean? Things like that, or somebody does something, or betrayal. Try to practice unconditional love then, because your ego gets in your way, because
That's right.
that's your thing is getting in the way, and we weren't taught about practicing unconditional love, especially towards ourselves.
Right.
Right.
But it starts with you. It doesn't start with anybody else. It doesn't start, well, God's going to appear. No. God to me, when I went on this side, God to me is an energy. It doesn't have a form. It has it's pure energy. Okay.
Mhm.
Jesus is a form. He came here. He's a master. So he came here. He had a form of whatever, as we are, a body.
Right.
Okay. God, I never seen any form. I just felt energy, and it's really, we're all connected to it.
Yeah.
No matter what.
And
Okay.
and everything is
Yeah.
the spark of
Energy.
the creator.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is energy. And
I was going to say, I was created. I'm aware of that. I was created in pure unconditional love. I was created by that energy. So,
that's right.
and I believe every one of us also. Okay.
Yes.
Just that you just have to become aware of it. And it's your higher self that's trying to transmit that to you, communicate that to you,
Yes.
And it's been trying for a long, long time, but because
Long
the
time.
world is changing now, and
Mhm.
you see what I mean? We're raising our vibes.
Mhm.
The more you use love, unconditional love, the more you're kind, the more you do gestures like that, the more you raise your vibes. There are levels on the other side like that.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lower level, but there's a higher level. And I'm talking about Jesus. Jesus is that's a master. Right?
Yes.
I'm not there yet, so
Not yet. That's
Not
okay.
yet.
That's okay. So Val, tell us about your NDE, your near-death experience, and
Oh.
how that changed how you live your life.
Well, believe it or not, it didn't at first. I was an accidental drug overdose,
Mhm.
and I was very angry. I didn't realize how angry until even later after that. Um, but I would always have arguments with God because I couldn't believe that I was brought here and saw all this pain and suffering, and didn't, you know, I was totally not connected to organized religion at all. I wasn't. My mom didn't bring us to church or anything. We went and explored all different,
Faiths.
you face the Catholic Church, the Jewish, it's the synagogues. I love the buildings, right? But I would go in there and I didn't feel anything. I was like, there's nothing here. It's like there is no God. And that's how I thought. Well,
Mhm.
that changed that day. That's the main thing that changed that day. I knew there was so much more to this. But I was angry I came back. Like I didn't want to come. I didn't want to leave where I was.
Right.
And I thought, oh my God, they kicked me out. They kicked me.
They kicked you out, huh? You have to go back now. You can't stay here. You didn't say the right password. No,
Yeah,
just
so
kidding.
that's what I thought. So that went on, and then when I had children about 10 years later, I'm like, oh gosh, now how am I going to do this? Because I was told at that same time period when I had my NDE that I couldn't have children,
Mhm.
and then 10 years later I do, and now I'm now I'm a mom, and I don't even know what that's supposed to be. And then my second child was really premature.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody, there's all these prayer groups. You go. I went to tent revivals just to have people pray for him because he was so, he was 1 pound 6 ounces at birth.
Oh.
But I never felt anything.
Hmm.
And the day he was born, one of the nurses handed me. I have the box, the little wooden box with an angel on it, and opened it up, and it had 3 crystals and a prayer cloth in there. And I didn't know. I mean, I'm traumatized at that moment. They're telling me he's not going to make it throughout the day, throughout the night, and I need to name him. And your mind doesn't hold on and grasp these things. So they had stabilized him, and this is probably 12 hours later where she hands me this box, and she tells me what each of the crystals are for. One for his blood, one for his breathing, and one for his brain, because when preemies they have little bleeds on their brains, or they can, and it causes issues. And that's the day I knew she was an earth angel. I just couldn't process everything I was going through that moment. And I, I mean, it was an angel. That was truly an angel.
Yes.
And she handed me that box. Now, I didn't get into crystals or any of this until a little bit, and once he stabilized, and that took about 9 months. 'Cause he was in there for quite a long time. And then I started searching, because I'm like, okay, I got to figure out, why am I so angry? Why do I hate myself? Why do I hate it here? And I just dove down into everything I could to understand what all this energy was, what was going on here. And even though in the back of my head I knew about the what I felt, not so much what I saw, it was what I felt when I had the NDE. It is just, you can't even believe this feeling. It's just a total unconditional loving blissful feeling. And I was really angry to leave that, but it happened really fast in my mind. Well, not really, but there's process getting in and there's a process getting back, I guess is best to say. So that's, my kids really motivated me into figuring out what does it mean to be human, to be a soul. What does this all mean? And I learn every day still. I still learn.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'd have to say those two things were definitely the door that opened for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was really beautiful. What about you?
I never had a near death experience. I um, I came in talking to God.
See?
I, as a child, would talk to God. I had no doubt that He was right there, that He was always with me. And
That's
I
awesome.
have 4 other siblings, and that's not the case with them. And
Mm.
they used to say that that I would walk around like I wasn't touching the ground, like I would walk into a room and light it up. And
Mm.
it was the kind of thing where, for me, I never had a moment of doubt. I never had that um,
Wow.
experience. For me, it always seemed easier to believe than not to believe, because to believe meant that everything mattered. To me, it meant that everybody was important, that everybody was special in their own way, and that was the unique part of exploration and understanding and experiencing. I I had a father who was one faith, a mother who was another faith, and they were 6,000 miles away from each other when they were studying. So there was always a discussion and openness about understanding that how someone finds their way to unconditional love, how they find their way doesn't really matter. It's not the book that you're reading. It's not the place that you're going to. It's the part of your heart that says, I am worthy, and I belong, and I am loved. And I am loved so much that this experience is fantastic. And I'm not trying to say that my life has always been wonderful. I had a time in my life where I was suicidal. I had a time in my life where things were really, really hard. And it was very difficult for me to rise again, to come back out of it. It felt like sliding down a muddy hole kind of thing, where I kept reaching for a root or something to grab onto, and there was nothing to grab onto. And then I had this thought running through my head um, where I kept hearing, "How do you know when someone loves you?
Mm.
How do you know that?
Mhm.
How do you know that? How do you within yourself know that yes, that person loves me, my husband loves me, my children love me, my mom loves me, my dad loves me, all those things? How do?" And I was driving my daughter, following my daughter. She was driving, I was driving behind her. And all of a sudden, I was inside this cave-like place. You know how you're an automatic pilot,
Mhm.
so your mind wanders. So I was in this cave-like place where there were all these vapors that were coming up around the edges of this round cave. And there was a pink one, and I knew that was my mom. And then there was a green one, and that was my dad. And then there was a blue one and a red one. And every place that I saw these flames, these flame vapor things. I don't know how else to describe it. I knew that that was the love that an individual had given to me, that
Mm.
their love had given to me. So in looking at that, I was like, but I didn't buy it. I didn't borrow it. I didn't ask for it. I didn't earn it. It was given. There was
Mm.
this element of pure gift when somebody just hands you something and you haven't done anything to deserve it. You haven't done anything to be worthy of it. It is just a gift. It is this gift given to you, this love. And as I went around the room, there was a rock in the middle of the room, and then there was this cartoon character, and it was this cartoon character was this bald headed man with two little hairs running over the top of him. Um, he was he was from the Leghorns. This is a really old cartoon strip. And he put his hand, and he was in black and white. Everything else was in color. He was in black and white. And he looked up at me and he goes, "Well, I wondered how long it was going to take you to get here." And from that moment on, I knew that how we love each other, the love that we give each other, the love that others give us, is part of this weaving process of connecting and growing and loving in a way that is never ever destroyed. It's never destroyed. It's never taken away. When someone loves you, they may not continue a relationship, but that love is yours. The love they gave you is yours. You can put it in your pocket. You can keep it. You can hold on to it. And you can draw on it for strength when you don't have the strength. When there's no root to grab onto because you're sliding down that muddy hole. All that love that people have given you along the way is a resource for you to get up in the morning, for you to see a new day, for you to understand that you are so loved by so many. And that moment, at that moment, I knew that dead or alive, my love was going to continue with those that I loved. That dead or alive, I would continue to love them. And that this was a continuum, that there was this long thing of life and lifetimes and moments of just incredible wonder and incredible awe in the understanding that how we connect with each other, how we love each other, how we support each other is the way for the world to move forward, is the way for humanity to survive what is coming up. And so for me, it was something that is as easy to me as breathing. I don't know any other way. I don't know any other way to be. I'm totally irritating to people that are like, "Would you stop being so happy? Would you stop stop, stop with the positivity stuff. Stop with, I mean, I get it. I can drive people crazy with the amount of I used to laugh so much growing up that people would look at me and they'd go, "What are you on and where can I get it?" Because, it was so pure. It was just pure joy. There was so much joy. So to do the show about love, to do the show and have people understand what it is I'm talking about, as far as getting to the place where, because we love ourselves, that love can radiate out. But it starts from within. It's an inside job. It has to start from within. And how to get to that place where the thoughts are guided by your heart rather than your heart listening to your head, because that's where the confusion pops in. Your heart really knows who you are. Your heart inside in your private home, in that sacred space, knows how precious and beautiful and loved you are. So for us to change that up, make it so that we can explain it to others, to be able to make their decisions, make their choices, make their lives have this ease and joy. Would you both say that your lives are have a sense of ease or peace
Oh, yes.
in it?
I'm totally transformed, because what you were saying, dead or alive, unloved, is the truth.
Yeah.
It's the thing about knowing that you dead or alive, you're loved, is something else. That's how you can become aware. I wasn't always aware. I became aware through struggle, difficulties, and experience. But I believe that was in my contract anyway. So, and you were talking about suicide. Would you believe, even though I had a near-death experience, even though I was on the other side, that I tried to commit suicide? I almost got through it, but I woke up. And then when I woke up, my heart was, oh Jesus, it was so hot. I couldn't even get up. I was so weak, and I fell off the bed to get to the friggin' phone. I wanted to call my mom and tell her, come and help me. And those friggin' dial phones,
Oh my God! Yes.
my arm was going like this, shaking because of the drugs.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And this and that. But I was talking towards God, and I said, I'll never do this again. If you give me a chance, I'll never, and I promise I'll never do it again. And guess what? I kept my promise, and I got more crap than I ever did before. I got tested right above my head.
Yeah.
I had an ex-girlfriend who committed suicide that I wasn't living with, and I went crazy, really lost it for sick mind and everything because of that. But I went through it without seeing help or a psychiatrist, all through my hand. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that. But even though I went all through that, I never said, Jesus, I'm going to quit. Because at the time I tried that suicide, I wrote a note. And I said, bye, cruel world. Because that's the way I saw the world. Cruel. Those are the words. And I still remember what I wrote down. So, and when I woke up, I had a mother, a little cat. She had little kittens while I was, going through that process. So when I opened the closet, and I saw all the little kittens. She had
Oh my gosh.
She had her little babies after I woke up, and I saw life, the beginning of life, and they gave me a boost. I don't know how to explain it, but I saw life right there. First, even though
Wow.
she caused and had her babies, even though I was going through that. So,
Wow.
that. I mean, I have stories like you wouldn't believe. I mean, I'm not going to tell you about the horror part of it. I'm just, because all these things to me, I take them as a gift today.
Yeah.
Because they help me transformed me completely,
Absolutely.
completely to
Yeah.
where I should be. They
And, you know,
brought,
and
they brought me closer to who I really am.
Yes.
Not, yeah. Okay. The rest, what we're living in a world of illusions, delusions, and it doesn't really exist.
right. Yeah.
Not for
It's
me, because
Mhm.
I'm in between two worlds.
Yeah.
What I would like to have is to be on the same level all the time, connected, like see the other side and hear at the same time there.
Yep.
But there's a little veil, there's still a little bit. That's because I'm processing all that stuff. So
well, yeah, I don't think that we're not trying to say that we're,
no,
perfect by any means. That
yes,
there are still so many things of challenge, so many things to work with and work on, and that is the human journey. That is the journey. I'm just really grateful that I get to spend some time with incredible spirits, incredible hearts, like you, Ron,
Mhm.
and like you, Val, all the time, where that confirmation and the realization that yes, this is why we are here. We are here
Mhm.
to love. We are here to share that love. We are here to lift humanity. At this point, the choice is becoming pretty defined, where our choice is about pretty much anything. You're either choosing love, which is peace and joy and laughter and creativity and solutions and quiet, okay? Or you're choosing the road of fear, which is the war game. That is war. So anytime that you are in or notice that someone is in a different kind of energy that is not a love energy, they are perpetuating or feeding the war machine. They are feeding the dark energy. They are feeding the hate energy. Um, they are feeding that rubble that is all riled up right now and is going to continue to be riled up because humanity is asking for those who love to heal that. And we don't have to go out and hug somebody. We can just be who we are. We can just sorry, but I got this hysterical vision of us all running up to a certain person and going, "Oh, let me just give you a hug."
I
That
know
doesn't
people that
I don't know, maybe that would
I
work.
know people in my we're in here in Canada. I know people
Yeah.
that do that. They
Oh, they
offer
do?
free hugs on the street.
Mhm.
I've seen that. Okay, so
Yes.
and
Yeah,
and besides that, love. People lose people, loved ones on the other side. You think you lose the loved one? No, you don't. They're always connected. And when
Yep.
you
always
your
connected.
love for your pets, everything, you always see all that come
Yeah.
together when your time comes. You'll be on the other side. You'll see all your pets. You'll see all your loved ones. You
Mhm.
never lose that. That's
You
what I
never
want
lose it.
people to know that. Okay,
Yes.
you'll never lose it. Believe me, you don't lose it. You
And
just
it's pretty
have faith about what I'm saying because it's true.
well, and it eliminates the aspect of being afraid about it. It eliminates the aspect of when
Yeah,
you're living with love as your foundation, a lot of what you were afraid of or what you thought was real or
yeah,
mattered
yeah.
changes. It changes how you view things. It changes what you want in your life and how you want to live in your day. How it gets to the point where you're craving the meditation or you're craving the interaction with
Yeah.
people that that speak your language or that understand you. And
Mhm.
and that is a beautiful part of saying, yes, I want more of that. Instead of saying, yeah, I want more marshmallows, I'm saying, no, I want more practice time with my friends, with my soul family, with the spirit ones that understand me, with those new loves in my life. So it's a really powerful journey that we're all on. And if there's ways that we can help each other to understand how to shift into that mode rather than maybe an old pattern, then that's the whole reason for Love Notes.
Because
It's
you can become aware of those two energies. One is love, and the other one is fear.
That's
So,
right.
I mean, don't focus on the other one. Focus on you, how you feel, how you see things. Realize what is this energy. Realize it. Like just stop for a moment, calm your mind down, so you realize, is this love energy or is this fear energy? You can distinct both of them. And you really, when you really come do the work on yourself. But you have to
Mm.
work on yourself to do this. You
If-
can't do it for somebody else. You have to do it for yourself, no
That's
matter
right.
who it is.
Yeah, we all have this. We have this history, right, of
Yeah.
trauma and pain. A
Yes.
lot of us do, right? And once you decide that you want to, like, just figure out who's God, what's going on, there's something in you, which is your higher self, that's nudging you to understand more. Once you just search it out. But here we are. We've come this far, all of us here. Thank you all for being here.
Yes.
We're at a pivotal point in history. We're changing the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. We are moving into higher vibrations that humanity has never gone here before. This is new to everybody, but we had to clear everything from every lifetime that was stuck inside of us. I mean, it's a constant thing.
Yeah.
We're constantly doing that, and it's again, it's so simple, choosing love over fear. But I understand how we get wrapped up in our story. You know, I could go on and on about all these horrible experiences I put myself through or someone else put me through, but I don't even look at it like that anymore. I am grateful for every moment, and I say that every day. I'm grateful for every moment of my existence because
Yes.
I got to figure it out. My biggest question was, who is God? Where am I? I got to figure all that out. And, by experiencing, I can't even say the word, experience all of it.
Right.
And
Yes.
it's every emotion from A to Z. And you get to this point where you choose love constantly in every moment. Your life is so, I'm content. I'm not like, yes, I'm excited and happy most of the time, but I'm just content. I'm content to be who I am in the body I am with all the experiences I had. And if I can do that, I know anyone else can do that. I know you can.
Because I was going to say, there's two energies in that when you're connected to your story, because there's a victim
Yes.
that you're doing. Like, oh Jesus, you don't know me. Oh my God. And then you start spreading that all around, and
Yeah.
then people run away from you because they're tired of hearing your crap. But yeah, but you don't understand. Jeez, blah, 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 blah. That is what I call fear energy. That's what you're in. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you look at your story and you say, geez, wow, I've been through a lot. Geez, I'm a survivor. I made it through. And then you start changing that energy into positive energy, and it becomes a gift.
Yes.
Yes.
And
yeah.
it will raise your vibe. But that's the way I can explain that I've done on myself, because I used to wow.
No, God.
And then I say, geez, if I'm having this life I'm having, all these problems, that's his fault. That's his fault. I'm blaming everybody else. But
Yeah.
I was projecting that blame instead of releasing it. And I had to do some forgiving. And it's not like, geez, he did all that and I have to forgive him. The hell with that. I'm not doing that. But it's something else to release it. But you're not releasing for that person that used it. You're releasing so you can be free.
Well, yeah.
So you can spread your wings and
Yeah.
fly away.
Yeah.
Freedom.
And
I'm talking about freedom right now. And I know that on the inside, you still have freedom.
Yeah.
Yes.
It
Yes.
still exists on the other. Because I
Yeah.
was offered to stay, and I didn't say, or I just turned around, bang, and the sun was coming at me. I went back into my body, and I woke up like a miracle
Yes.
in the hospital.
Mhm.
And I never had another attack in my whole life.
Never again.
Never again.
You know, the power and the magic around love
Yeah.
and the ability to understand how it heals, how it transforms, how it makes magic out of nothing, and how you can transcend so many different circumstances by allowing love to grow within. And sometimes that takes those little steps, those repeated again and again and again and again and again. Yes, I am loved. Yes, I am worthy. Yes, I am strong. Yes, I can do this. And even if it only starts out with, at the beginning of your day, saying, I am loved. I love me. I'm going to love me.
Love yourself.
That's right. I love me. And then before you go to sleep at night,
Mm-hmm.
I am loved. Thank you for today. Thank you for all the things that happened today. Even if it's just those two statements that you tell yourself among all the other hundreds that went on in the day, if you start with, I am loved, just take a minute at the end of the day and look at how different your day may have been.
Yeah.
And so that you'll want to repeat it again and again and again. It's a huge transformation, and it is so important now. Anybody that's here, anybody that's listening, anyone that's listening after the live has that nudging going on that Valerie was talking about wanting life to be different, about wanting the planet to be different, about wanting to make a difference in making the planet different. And that difference is all of us being true to who we are and knowing that we're special, knowing that we have that light that shines. The light that everybody talks about really is the radiance from their heart, that heart radiance that comes out. That's the light, this little light of mine. We all need to make it shine because that is how we lift humanity on the planet. So it's a wonderful challenge.
Unconditional love.
Yeah. If you could,
Self-love is unconditional love. When you say,
Absolutely.
I am love and all this, and you say those things to yourself, that's practicing unconditional. It's part of it.
yeah.
Yes.
And your heart responds to that. That's how I started. I started saying, I love you. I love you. It was really awkward for me when I did it.
Yeah, it was.
I could feel my heart like smile. I don't even know how to explain it. The more I do, like my heart is always on now. It's always radiating energy out. You know, because we are an energy field. We have energy bodies.
Mm-hmm.
The heart is what's keeping us alive, right? So it's ruled by the sun. Everything on Earth needs sunlight to grow. Maybe there's a couple of things way down there that doesn't, but pretty much for the most part, everything does. And if when we get to that point of making that choice, because that's what it really boils down to, are you going to choose today to love yourself, or are you going to choose to play in the fear program and hate yourself because something you did 7 years ago somewhere? You know, I was that person. I would never forgive myself for it. I know I'm not going to forgive myself for that, because that's when they started talking to me about forgiveness and acceptance and my guides. And I was like, oh my God, I could never do that. I could never do that. Now I can, no problem. None of us came here to have like a perfect report card, right? It's messy. Life is messy. We experience,
Yes, it is.
you know, and we have to experience these. I mean, they're god awful experiences. I don't know why, but it does something to trigger an awakening inside of you. Now, maybe some people don't need to have the horrible experiences like Kate doesn't. She didn't, you know, she did later in life, but she wasn't always influenced by that. Can I say something to Renee Lopez?
Sure, of course.
Can we change now our next life story? For example, can we start praying now for the next life for the life we want next time? You can change your life right now, Renee, by just making that choice. It's a choice. And I know some of your story, and I know what's going on. But wouldn't you want to live this life in love and acceptance? That's what my question is to you.
Well, I made a promise. It's not a promise. It's a choice because I have free will. I decided that instead of all the drama, all everything I had, release all that, and I would become the best version of me.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I made that choice, and that's what I'm trying to do. Not in the next life, right now,
Right now.
this life.
Amen.
Even though sometimes there's a lot of crap around, but I get through it with the best the best version of myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I choose like I pick these well, okay, I gotta breathe. This stinks, but I gotta breathe, and I gotta go. It goes easier, a little bit easier. You know, I get through it faster than I did before.
Mm-hmm.
To hang on to that stuff, but that'll kill you. That'll make you sick. It's toxic. So,
Yeah.
so I really
You did, Renee. We chose all that.
yeah.
You did all that on a soul level. You have a soul team. We all have this plan. I mean, I can see it now. I couldn't see it then. I didn't know we even had. I didn't even think God was here. For goodness' sake, I just didn't know what was going on. But now I know.
You know, it's not easy to go through
So-
raised by two alcoholic parents and go through life like that and wonder, how do I make my life better? I don't want that crap in my life. I don't want that in my life. That stuff. I've seen them go, wow. I see violence. I see all
Mhm.
kinds of stuff. And I had to deprogram myself. I don't want to identify myself to that. And I had to go, like a 360 degrees, develop my own spiritual, not religion, my own spiritual, which already was in my soul. I just had to connect it. How do I do that? Well, that I did a lot of stuff, courses, meditation, listen to people. I worked till I got, oh, geez, okay, now I understand. Little by little, I am where I am right now, but everybody has their own journey to get there.
Yeah, we all have that journey, and even I can look at everybody that I feel has wronged me
Yeah.
prior to waking up, and I can send them love and acceptance. I don't really use forgiveness because it's to me like
Yeah.
somebody did something wrong. It's an acceptance of what is what is. What happened. Uh, hurt people. We all had this cycle we had to travel through.
Mm-hmm.
You will always have a choice if you believe and have faith and trust that you have the choice.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't think you have any say in any of this, you're not going to have any say in any of it. And this is why knowing about energy, the 12 universal spiritual laws, knowing how to ground and connect yourself. There's so many things that we can do. Put in a meditation on. Take time to speak to your heart. Ask your heart, what am I here for? What do I love? Who am I? All those answers will come to you as soon as you ask. That's the main thing too. Once you choose, you have to ask. You have to ask, and constantly. No one's going to give us the answers because we have free will, and we're in this. Well, we're really not anymore in this lower density. But this energy is in flux. We're in and out, in and out. But I know I stay in higher vibrations most of the time now. I have stabilized enough to let all that other stuff go. I don't even pay attention really to the news. I know what's going on, sort of, but I stay out of all the mucky stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It's
just
never. I was going to say it's never too late to become the best version you can be.
No, never.
It's never too late. Never say it's too late. Okay. Don't look at that as that, because every minute you're breathing, every minute you're on here, you have the
That's right.
chance to become the best person that you can, best version that you can be. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a
And you're
choice.
right. Let
Right.
your
I would,
heart open up to that. Okay.
Yeah.
and I would also just chip in one more thing, and that is the reason that there are so many of us is because we're not meant to do this alone.
No.
You are not alone. Okay.
No.
You are not alone. And when the request comes out to, understand or find answers or find someone that can help you to move in a direction that you want to move in, all you have to do is ask.
Mhm.
Ask your guides, ask your angels,
Mhm.
ask one source, ask friends.
Mhm.
Find 800 numbers that can that you can get referred to help you move toward the direction that you want to move toward. What is that famous saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears?
Yeah.
That's the beauty of being among other beautiful human beings, is that we do this together. I am a huge believer in asking for help, in expecting the right help at the right time, knowing that that will show up for me and that that will be a stepping stone for me to move in the correct direction.
Mhm.
There's a limit to saying not now, maybe tomorrow, maybe next year. Remember, we are limitless.
Mhm.
We are forever. Okay, we are
Mhm.
continuous.
Yeah.
And the journey doesn't have a start and a stop.
Right.
The journey continues throughout all of it. So if the decision is that you want something in your life that is more peaceful, that has more joy, that has more magic, that has more exciting moments in it, or even those quiet times where you're just saying, hey, life is good. Life feels really good right now. Then that's the road you want to hit, with the love and the self-love, and finding others that have the self-love for themselves as well. And the way that you'll know is because there's a gentle quietness about them. There's a gentle joy that comes through that isn't something that needs to be loud or crazy. I know I'm loud and crazy. Okay. But you'll be able to tell, who they are simply by watching what they're doing and what they're saying. So that is our hope, that we could bring these stories to inspire everyone, to choose love at any given moment, and raise the vibration for each other and for ourselves. I know that we're over the hour. I wonder, do you want to do a card? Anybody want a card, or a
Well,
card for the week? Maybe we could do a
looking
card.
for a card for the week.
Yeah,
Sure.
let's do a
Yeah.
card for the week.
Just remember, everything is, it's your choice. You have free will. You can be any. You can decide to heal in any moment. And I know it's not easy. I fought it all the way. And once I realized, oh my God, is that all? That was it? I kind of had this regret going on for a little while, and I had to release that because I regretted taking so long to get to the point that to make the choice of love. It was just, it's crazy.
Like good wine, all in good time. Well,
Mhm.
the card that I drew for the collective for the week is loving friends. Surround yourself with people who inspire you and grow together with you. Your friends raise you up and hold you to the best that you can be. You are loved unconditionally and supported throughout the journey. Release old friends which may be toxic or keep you stagnant. So the card that I drew for everybody is loving friends.
Ah,
Wow.
very cool.
That's
I picked the
appropriate.
card from the deck, Talking to Heaven.
Nice.
Mm.
I can't make this stuff up, eh?
Oh my gosh, look at that.
I
Oh,
was met by so
Beautiful.
many loving people. What were we talking about?
Yeah,
wow.
So
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I
You can't make it up. It just it shows up.
yeah.
So is that.
Yeah.
And I got unlimited. I create my reality with the thoughts I think and things I focus on. I am unlimited in my ability to create a beautiful life full of good and love. And I'm just gonna say this: we started Leo season today. Venus is in Leo retrograding. Leo and Venus are all about love. Connect to your heart and follow your heart. I can't say that enough. I say it in every show I'm on. This is what Spirit is asking us right now. This is the door has opened. The door it has opened since the equinox, but this today opened up the door. This is the door of loving ourselves and accepting ourselves. Once you do that, then you can spread that out, right? But it's
Yeah.
you first. You like
Yeah.
putting your oxygen mask on first. You have to nurture yourself and care for yourself. Venus is going to require you nurture and care for yourself and do all the things that make you feel good. Leo is the sun.
There you
We
go.
are our own sun is what we're doing is our heart is our sun. Once we radiate that out, it radiate inside of us and it radiates out to the world and everybody can feel that.
Yep.
And then we
It's
all
amazing.
raise in vibration and we help Mother Earth raise in vibration. It's so beautiful.
It's awesome. Well, I want to thank you both for being with me, Ron and Valerie, and everyone in the chat. The chat was beautiful today. I saw a lot of support and conversations going on. I'm sorry that we didn't highlight more of them on the screen. I just felt like it was, I don't know, maybe I'm technically challenged. But I just wanted to say thank you again for being here. I'm so grateful for you all. I send you nothing but love and the best wishes. And if we can do it, so can you. You
Yeah.
can do it. So we send you all love and would love to hear your adventures as you continue through that path. And, shoot us an email if you have questions about any of this. We want
Definitely.
to be a resource for you. We want to be there for you. We want you to know that we do. We love you. So take care and be well until next time. Okay? Bye, y'all.
Love
Bye.
you.
Much love.